Good afternoon. Beautiful day for a run. Here I am, first run in my Hoka Speedgoats. Because these shoes are a little more than I would spend, I would have not bought them on my own. They're like $165 shoes. I tend to aim for that 130 mark. And then, in addition, look for things that are half off. These were actually a birthday present since I had my 49th birthday yesterday. It's Easter Sunday today. He is risen and already went for a bike ride. That was probably like an hour 15. So a good way to get 2-a-days for people that aren't great with actual 2-a-days on their body is to bike or swim as your second or first exercise in the 2-a-day. Makes this kind of like a brick run, but I had a little bit of time between the two, so not really. It's like a second run for my aerobic system, but at first for my muscular skeletal, taking away a lot of the dangers, for injury, things like plantar fasciitis, knee injuries, calves, shin splints, these classic running injuries people get. If you, instead of 2 runs a day for your 2-a-days, you get one of them on time on a bike. Even if it's not like a fast road bike or anything, it's just on my hybrid urban bike. It doesn't matter. Your lungs and hearts don't know the difference. So you can push your aerobic system further. Again, I've said this before, I think True Heart Brown proved you can do a lot of good training off of mostly bike work back when he won the Black Canyon 100K. He did that mostly off of bike work because he didn't have the time for running with his job as a firefighter. Yeah, so far I would say the Hoka Speedgoats not as good as road running as the Challengers, but that's to be expected. They're more knobby, but definitely not as bad as the Saucony Peregrine. Those are impossible to run on roads. They slap your feet, make your shins hurt. These don't. They might slow you down a little, but then again, maybe not. I don't know. I'm running in the 14s, it looks like. But this is still my first mile, which is my warm-up mile. Everything's always hard the first mile, isn't it? Always, always. Waking your body up. This is one of my normal ATR runs. Road and trail. 2 different types of trails on this particular run. Mile 1, 14:26. So, I don't know, pretty normal. I think equivalent to the Hoka Challengers for me. Of course, I'm not a fast runner, so I can't tell you if your slow pace is 8-minute miles. This is not gonna slow you down, but it didn't slow me down compared to a genuine ATR road trail shoe like the Challenger. Of course, those feel a little heavier too. It's a little bit lighter. Here, this next section is where the Speedgoat shines. Relatively flat trail. So this is kind of the trail that I see on YouTube. Lots of folk using the Speedgoat 4. Here we are on my second mile. It's pretty flat. Bike path. It'd be like a tow path or a rail trail. Lots of ultras on this. I got a buddy who ran the C&O Canal 100 miler, which is down in Maryland. He's here in town. This kind of path. The only real difference is Not because of the shoe, but the path doesn't give you as much push forward as a road does. But it's also less wear and tear on knees and ankles and joints as roads are. So good with the bad. Yeah, I might lose a couple seconds. We'll see what I lose. I'm still in the 14s for pace. So that was about half mile of that type of trail. Slight uphill grade. So maybe like if you were running Ghost Trail 50K here in central PA down by Evansburg. This next section is a grassy trail beside the golf courses. I don't know any equivalent races that use that type of terrain, but I'm sure they're out there. Cross country, I guess. So I didn't really lose pace on slight uphill rail trail type path. Very compacted, so I can understand why people would use this for those type of runs, those type of 5K, half marathon, marathons, and ultras. Makes sense. I suspect I'll lose some pace on this because it really sucks up your energy, right? The grass. We'll see. So far it's not. I'm still staying in my easy run pace. It's not a super long section though, and it becomes more complex terrain that I slow down on so as not to get injured because of rocks and roots. So yeah, I did slow down a bit in that grass section from the 14s down to the 15s. Like I thought, energy gets sucked down in the ground. It's a little softer. And now I'm on to that slightly more technical section where I have to slow down and watch my pace, right? Watch my step. 2 years ago, I sprained my ankle twice in 1 year. And since then, anytime I come to something that looks like it could be an ankle bender, I either stop or take a couple steps over that section that looks a little sketchy. Better safe than sorry. Nothing hurts your training like blunt force trauma, right? Like an injury, like a fall injury, a sprain, or even a break. Yeah. So yeah, pace is off the table at this point. Just getting through. That's like 17 something. Just making sure I'm safe. But yeah, the knobbies are good on this too. Work out pretty well. Actually, would have preferred to have a knees at that 5K I did on my birthday. Here's some roots. Let's avoid these guys. Yeah, so first impressions are that this is a good ATR shoe. I love to run some on the roads, some on different trails, just to change things up. You know, the knobbies on this are much better, right, than the Challengers. But the Challengers are probably a little bit better on the roads, though it wasn't noticed in this first run. Also, these feel a little bit tighter than the Challengers, a little bit less wide in the midfoot. I don't mind them. They're not so tight like Ultras are, where you have to size up. It's the same size, 12 wide, as I wear for the Challengers. They're just a little more snug, which can be a good thing for a race shoe. Hello, squirrel. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm okay too. So yeah, definitely there's roots and rocks to watch for on this type of trail. Also a little more uphills and downhills, on sections I won't film. Yeah, so question of the day. Have you run into Speedgoats before? If so, what were your impressions? And if not, was it the price that kept you away from them? Because that's what it kept me away from them. Why spend an extra 30 bucks? 30 bucks is other things, right? Get some Challengers and 2 pairs of nice Balegas. Okay, rocks. I gotta pay attention. Mile 2, 15:06. And that time wasn't lost on the flat rail trail, more on the grass in this technical section. Lots of flowers. Mile 3, 16:36. So that mile was entirely on trails, most of which were fairly substantial for me. Right, I know lots of people can gun up and down those little hills on that, but we all have limitations of our own bodies, and for me, those are be careful trails. For some people that have to be careful till they go on something like the Speedgoat 50K. But yeah, speaking of Speedgoats, I don't know, seems like it seems to work like an ATR shoe, which is my type of run. Anybody else use this for an ATR shoe? I haven't got any of these rocks stuck in my shoe yet, which is a good thing. Mile 4, 15:18.